ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, we are in this Anuvaka 1 of Brahmanandavalli. We are seeing the Bhashyam, and in that Bhashyam, in the last class, we concluded the last class with a small Purvapaksham from the Shunyavadi, the nihilist, who says that you are talking about the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Satyadinam Anrutadya Dharma Nivrutti Paratvat. So what do they say? Satyam says, okay, Satyam is something which is the opposite of Anrutam. You are excluding what is Anrutam. You are not positively postulating anything, but you are negating something. That's all. Anrutadi Dharma Nivrutti. Then when you say Jnanam, you are negating that it is something called Jada, but you are not postulating it is not Jada, but you are not postulating something positively. Similarly, Anantam also you are excluding that finiteness, and you are not positively postulating anything. So because you are only defining everything in the negative terms, Satyadinam Anrutadi Dharma Nivrutti Paratvat, Anrutadi Dharma Nivrutti, you are just negating. Visheshyasya Brahmanaha, and secondly, this so-called Visheshyam called Brahma which you are talking about is something which is just not known. It is not experienced by anybody, it is not seen by anybody, it is not seen like any other Utpaladivat, like any other flower or object. So then he gave a small, he also heckled at this gentleman, Vedanti, saying that, oh, it is like saying, okay, you see that gentleman going, so that gentleman who is the son of a barren woman, he just bathed, he had a fresh bath in that waters of, what is that, mirage, and then he has decked his hair with this flowers from the sky, and then he is having a bow made of the horn of a hare. So that is what, everything is improbable, where everything is non-existent. So you are talking about a Brahman which is such a non-existent thing. Then he said it is not, then Siddhanti said it is not correct. Lakshanarthatvat, all those things are for Lakshana, that is to define. No fool will try to define something which is non-existent. Nobody will try to define or postulate something which is non-existent. It is only about something which is existent that some adjectives are given. If there is nothing, where is the question of adjectives? So Visheshanatvepi Satyadinam Lakshanartha Pradhanyamityavochama. They are no doubt Visheshanas. No, they are no doubt adjectives. But then they are for the purpose of defining. They are for the purpose of defining. Lakshanartha Pradhanyam. The predominant thrust, the thrust of those adjectives is to define. Then Shunyahi Lakshya Anarthakam Lakshanavachanam. If the object, if our objective is something Shunya, then all this Lakshanavachanam, the very definition, Lakshanavachanam is the Vachanam, the statement which is defining, that is this so-called definition is futile. Then Lakshanarthatvan Manyamahe na Shunyarthata. We are sure that this is to define Brahma and not in the sense of this Shunyartha. So Visheshanarthatvepi na Satyadinam Swartha Aparityagayeva. Even if you say that all these things are Visheshana, Did we read? No, did we not read this line? Okay, let us read. Visheshanarthatvepi cha
विशेषणार्थत्वेऽपि च
satyadinam swartha parityaga eva.
सत्यादीनां स्वार्थापरित्याग एव.
Swartha aparityaga. So Visheshanarthatvepi. Even if you say that they are Visheshanarthatvepi, conceding that they are Visheshanas, then the Satyadinam, this Satyam Jnanam Anantam, they do not give up their what is that? Swartha. Swartha aparityaga. Parityagam means leaving out. Swartha aparityagam is not leaving out their own swartham. Swartham does not mean selfishness. In Telugu, not only Telugu, so in many languages we use the word swartham means selfishness. It is not selfishness. Swartha. That is once their own meaning. Their own, and also you can take two meanings here. Artha also means purpose. Their own objective, their purpose, their meaning, both meanings you can take. You can take it as meaning and also as purpose. Swartha, what is the meaning? What is this? What is the artham of Satyam? In the case of Satyam, what is the Swartha? Its original meaning. Original meaning is something which cannot be negated in all the three times. Trikala badhyatvam, Satyatvam. Trikala badhyam satyam. So that is it. Trikala abadhyam. In all the three tenses, present, past, future, in all the three tenses, it is something which cannot be negated, which means it is beyond time. Time is also an appearance in that. So Sat, we discussed about what is the meaning of Sat, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam earlier in one earlier class. So Satyam is that. Jnanam is something which is beyond this Triputi. Satyam is something which is beyond Karya Karana Sambandha. That is another point which we have to note. Trikala Badhyam plus it is beyond Karya Karana Sambandha. So when you say something is the substratum for everything, then it becomes the cause. So we discussed in about 2 classes earlier. It becomes the cause. When it becomes the cause, then a question comes whether it is an instrumental cause or a material cause. In both cases, it becomes finite. In both cases, it becomes a vikari, and because it is a vikari, it becomes finite, and because it is finite, it is jadam. So many problems will come. So to avoid all that, it is said, jnanam. It is not jadam, but it is of the nature of consciousness. And when you say consciousness, then again a question comes. You see, you and I, we are also knowers. We see objects. I see the pen, I see some other phone, I see some glass and all these things. So I am having knowledge of these things. So this knowledge, what type of knowledge is it? It is called vritti jnana. It is a mental modification. Mental modification means, you see, the process of knowledge in Vedanta, we also had a very brief introduction earlier. That is, in this context we have to read some primary books on Prakarana Grantha, what it is called Prakarana Grantha. It is a primary book on Vedanta we have to read, particularly something like Vedanta Paribhasha. Vedanta Paribhasha is a rather difficult Prakarana Grantha, but still we are supposed to read that book. So in that, what is the process of perception? So that is described there. Perception means I am seeing this. So I am perceiving this. What is this process of perception? So my mind, so-called what is called Antahkarana. Antahkarana is also associated with some Chaitanyam. So that means this Chaitanyam or consciousness is divided into, it looks divided into so many things. This Antahkarana which is associated with this Chaitanya, and then this object also is associated with some Chaitanya. It looks like an inanimate object, but this also is associated with some Chaitanya. It is not so prominent as in the case of Antahkarana. So this is called Vishaya Avachinna Chaitanyam. That is Chaitanya which is associated with Vishaya, object. Antahkarana Avachinna Chaitanyam means the Chaitanyam or consciousness which is associated with the mind. Then there is what is called a vritti. Vritti is what covers an object. It envelops an object. And when it envelops an object, my mind undergoes a change. My mind undergoes some modification. That modification is called vritti.
Yeah.
Vritti. Chitta vritti. Chitta vritti nirodha we have discussed in, earlier in Gita Bhashyam and various other places. Vritti. And that vritti also is a jada, but it is the Chaitanyam is something which illumines that also. So which means vritti avachinna Chaitanyam is there. So that means my mind, whatever object I see, my mind takes the shape of that object. And there Dharmaraja Adhwari, who is the writer of that Vedanta Paribhasha, he gives an example. Suppose you leave water into that lawn. There is a lawn there. You leave water into that lawn. If the lawn is square shaped, the water takes the shape of a square. If the lawn is circular in shape, the water also takes the shape of a circle. If the lawn is triangular in shape, the water also takes the shape of a triangle. So like that, the mind takes the shape of that object. The mind becomes that object. The mind takes that shape of the object, and this thing is reflected in that mind. So this is what is the process of knowledge according to Vedanta. So it is surprising how these people, they discussed all these things in Vedanta. So anyway, so that is the point. Where are we? Visheshana Satyadinam Swartha Paritya Jnanam. We are discussing this Jnanam. So this Jnanam means there is, we usually refer it to Jnanam of an object. That is, we are referring to this Antahkaranavachanna Chaitanya. These three types of Chaitanya we saw. That is one consciousness which is associated with the Vishaya, another thing which is associated with this Vritti, another thing which is associated with the mind, Antahkarana. When all these three things meet, it means that is called perception. We say that I have seen the pen. So that is the picture. So all this is a modification of the mind. So when you say Jnanam, it can also mean that means Vrityavachanna Chaitanya. And now I see this object. The next minute I see this pen, say phone. So when I see this phone, this goes away from my mind. It is, my mind is occupying, my mind has taken the shape of this, say phone. When I see some other object, my mind takes the shape of that object. So that means this knowledge is something which is impermanent. This Vritti Jnanam, it arises and dies, it arises and dies. Even if we what here in the class, it arises sometime and then it dies after some time. So unless we again listen to it, drill again and again, unless I also read this again and again, it disappears. Suppose I read once and come to the class, I may not be able to tell you also. So I have to read it 3-4 times and I have to make a notes. Otherwise this thing will disappear. So it is like that. It is so impermanent. Knowledge is something which is so impermanent. So whereas when you talk about Brahma, this knowledge is something which is synonymous with Brahma. It is not knowledge of Brahma. It is not knowledge which is in the mind of Brahma. There is no such thing as a cosmic mind. Of course, cosmic mind we talk at a lower level. When you talk about say empirical God at an empirical level, then you call it cosmic mind, that's a different thing. But when you are talking in the absolute sense, there is no such thing as cosmic mind. It is pure consciousness only. And that consciousness is something which is devoid of this knower-known relationship. Gnata, Gneyam, Jnanam. This Triputi is absent. So when you are referring to Jnanam, you are referring to Jnanam which is beyond this Triputi, beyond this triad. So this is the original meaning of the Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Anantam also that is something which is infinite, from which nothing can be divided, nothing can be excluded, nothing can be added. Heyopadeya Varjita, you read in Lalita Sahasra. Heyopadeya Varjita. What is that Heyopadeya Varjita? Heyam means something which can be taken out. Upadeya means something which can be added. So in that infinity, in that Anantam, you can't take out anything, you can't add anything. So that is the point. So Swartha Aparityaga Eva. So we stopped here in the last class. So this particular meanings, these Satyam Jnanam Anantam, they are not leaving out these meanings. They are definitely having these meanings. So that is the point. Then Shunya, let us read Shunyarthatvehi Shunyarthatvehi Satyadi Shabdanam
Shunyarthatvehi Satyadi Shabdanam
Visheshya Niyantrutvanupapattihi Satyadyarthai Arthavatvetu Arthavatvetu Tad Viparita Dharmavadbhyo Visheshyebhyo
तद् विपरीत धर्मवद्भ्यो विशेष्येभ्यो
ब्रह्मणो विशेष्यस्य
ब्रह्मणो विशेष्यस्य
नियंतृत्वम् उपपद्यते
नियंतृत्वम् उपपद्यते
ब्रह्मशब्दोऽपि स्वार्थेन अर्थवानेव
ब्रह्मशब्दोऽपि स्वार्थेन अर्थवानेव
ओके So shunyarthatvehi satyadi shabdanam, suppose you say that this satyam, jnanam, anantam, etc., they are referring to some shunya. If you contend like that, shunyarthatvehi, because shunyarthatve sati, that is, if you accept that they are all referring to some shunyam, then satyadi shabdanam visheshya niyantrutva anupapattihi. What is the visheshyam here? Brahma. We are in the process of defining Brahma. Brahma is the Visheshyam. Visheshya Niyantrutva. Niyantrutva means to define, to influence it. Niyanta, you know, Niyanta is a dictator. So, Niyantrutva is dictatorship. So, strictly speaking, that is the dictatorship. So, Niyantrutva is here influencing the meaning, determining the meaning. In the sense of influencing or determining the meaning, in that sense. Or regulating the meaning, not even regulating, here it is defining. So, Satyadi Shabdana Visheshya Niyantrutvam. So, what are these Satyadi Shabdas doing? Satya is giving a particular definition to Brahma. Then, this word Jnanam is coming and then it is modifying the meaning. It is influencing the meaning. That it is saying it is not something jada. It is beyond karya karana. When you say satyam, it may mean karya karana relationship may be there. But when you add the word jnana, that karya karana is modified, it is taken away, and then you are thus modifying. You are doing niyantrutvam of the word Brahma. Similarly, when you say anantam, you are again doing some niyantrutvam by excluding the fact that this particular jnanam is not something like vritti jnanam, which is so temporary. Our knowledge of Shastra is also a vritti jnanam. So that is why this vritti jnanam goes away. I told you. So, but this particular jnanam is not temporary. This is not ephemeral. So that is why this vritti jnanam, so anantam is influencing, satyam is postulating something. Jnanam is coming and then jnanam is influencing it, or rather modifying it. It is something like a sculptor coming and shaping it. So Anantam is again coming and then giving some particular shape to what Satyam and Jnanam have told. So that is how this Niyantrutvam is there for the Visheshanas. Satyadi Visheshananam Niyantrutvam vartate. Whereas if you say Shunyarthatve sati, then what is there to define? You see, Satyam, the Brahma is there, there is an object, there is something, there is an entity. It is not an object, it is an entity. So something called Satyam is there, that Satyam, that infinite consciousness, infinite consciousness, which is all pervading infinite consciousness. Okay. So that is what is Brahma. When you are referring to some Shunyam, then where is the question of this refining or regulating or modifying the meanings? There is no question. Niyantrutva anupapattihi. Anupapatti means the improbability. Right now they are shaping up. They are giving a shape. You followed it?
Yes.
Niyantrutva anupapattihi. Then satyadhyarthaihi arthavatvetu. Arthavatve sati. This satyadhyarthaihi arthavatvetu. If this satyam, jnanam, anantam, etc., they are meaningful. In that situation, what happens? Tad viparita dharmavadhyah visheshyebhyah. Brahmano visheshyasya. Vyavartanam. That is, Brahma is the Visheshyam, the object which is being defined. So when you are defining an object, you have to distinguish from all other things, isn't it? So when you are using these words Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, etc., you are distinguishing this Brahman from all other objects, isn't it? You are distinguishing this Brahman from all other objects. And which means that Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, they are giving a sense, they are meaningful, they are giving some clear sense, and then they are influencing the meaning of that Brahma, and in that process they are excluding, they are isolating this Brahma from all other objects. So that is the point. Satyadhyarthaihi arthavatvetu tad viparita dharmavadhyah visheshyabhyah. That is from objects which are having opposite nature. You are talking about Satyam. So then when you say Satyam, you are distinguishing it from Anrutam. When you say Jnanam, you are distinguishing it from Jadam, which is something which is opposite in nature, isn't it? So tad viparita dharmavadbhyah. Viparita means opposite. Viparita dharmavadbhyah visheshyabhyah, from objects which have quite opposite properties. So when you are giving a definition, you are qualifying it, you are distinguishing it from things of opposite say quality, opposite property. Is it clear?
Yes.
So brahmanaha visheshyasya niyantrutvam upapadyate. So it will be logical to say, that this niyantrutvam, this capacity to modify, capacity to influence is there. So, and also he adds one more point. Brahma shabdopi swarthena arthavaneva. Brahma, the word Brahma also, there is a swartha. Swartha means its own meaning, its own etymological meaning. Swartha means its own meaning. Swarthena arthavaneva. Arthavan means it is meaningful. What is that? What is the meaning of Brahma? Bruhi vruddhau. It is something which grows and grows and grows. It is something which vruddhi. Vruddhi means it increase, expand, grows. It grows and grows. You think of so what a child's concept of big means. Okay, he goes from here to Delhi, and then he goes from here to America or something, and then he realizes the world is so big. And then when he goes to the class, and then when the teacher talks about say the solar system and all that, and when he says Earth is a very small speck when compared to this sun, and the sun is so far away, and so many million times it is bigger. So then his knowledge of bigger grows. Then our knowledge of big grows when we realize that the sun itself is a small speck. It is a small speck in the whole say galaxy, and then these galaxies, and then all these constellations and whatnot. So all these things may say fill the gaps in our mind, and then we realize that this bigness means it is big is something which is beyond what all we can imagine, beyond all the constellations, beyond all these things. So that is what is Akasha. Avakasha Datru Akasha. And that Akasha itself is something which is a product of the mind. Akasha is something which is, you are mentally say visualizing it. So which means that your Chaitanya is able to visualize something so big, isn't it? So that Brahma is Bruhi Vruddhau. So that is something Swarthena Arthavaneva. It is having its own meaning. Then Tatra Ananta, okay, let us read. Tatra Ananta Shabdaha Antavatva Pratishedha Dvarena Visheshanam Satyajnana Shabdautu Swartha Samarpanenaiva Visheshane Bhavataha. So Tatra means when you are referring to this Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, all the three adjectives in that context, Ananta Shabdaha Antavatva Pratishedha Dvarena. So this Ananta is defining something by negating. Antavatva Pratishedham. Antavatva means something which is coming to an end. Is called Antavat. Antavat is something which comes to an end. Antavatvam means the status of being that Antavat. So Antavatva Pratishedha, that is negating that status of coming to an end. That is negating impermanence, let us say. Negating impermanence. So Antavatva Pratishedha, that is by negating impermanence, it is becoming an adjective. Tat dvarena visheshana. It is becoming an adjective by negating impermanence. Whereas Satyajnana Shabdautu, tu means on the other hand. Whereas Satya and Jnana, these two Shabdas, Swartha Samarpanenaiva, by presenting their own positive meaning. Swartha Samarpanam. Samarpanam means presenting. By presenting their own positive meaning, Visheshane Bhavataha. These two become adjectives. Is it clear? Then we are shifting to another point. We are referring to this mantra, Tasmadva Etasmadatmana Akasha Sambhutah. Did we read that mantra? I don't know whether we read. Mantra we did not read completely. Mantra we read only one or two lines. Brahmana Vipaschiteti, up to that point. Did we read up to that point at least? Okay, then let us read. Tasmadva etasmadatmana iti. We will read the Bhashyam. Tasmadva etasmadatmana iti. Tasmadva etasmadatmana. In my book it is not in one place, it is in so many pages. Okay, let us read. तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः.
तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन
No. तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः. No, you forget about that. Maybe you are not reading the notations. Tasmadva etasmadatmana.
तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन
You read in your own way. Akasha sambhutaha.
आकाशः सम्भूतः
Akashadvayuhu.
आकाशाद्वायुः
Vayoragnihi.
वायोरग्निः
Agnerapah.
अग्नेरापः
Adbhyah pruthivi.
अभ्यः पृथिवी
Prithivya oshadhayah.
पृथिव्या ओषधयः
Oshadhayah.
ओषधयः
Oshadhibhyo annam.
ओषधीभ्यो अन्नम्
Annat purushah.
अन्नात् पुरुषः
Savayesh purushonnarasamayah.
समायेष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः.
So, Savayesh purushonnarasamayah, another subject. Annat purusha, up to that point we'll read. From there we'll continue. Or we'll continue that lines. Savayesh purushonnarasamayah.
समायेष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः.
Tasyedameva shirah.
तस्येदमेव शिरः.
Ayam dakshina pakshah.
अयं दक्षिणः पक्षः.
Ayamuttarah pakshah.
अयमुत्तरः पक्षः.
Ayamatma.
अयमात्मा.
Idam pucham pratishtha.
इदं तुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा.
Tadapyesha shloko bhavati.
तदप्येष श्लोको भवति.
Okay. So that is the end of Prathamanuvaka. So now we'll continue that Tasmadva etasmad atmana. So we have seen, what did we see so far? Satyam, how did it begin? It began with Brahmavid apnoti param. So Brahmavid becomes, he attains the highest. That is the first line. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. It said Brahma is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Yo Vedani hitam guhayam parame vyoman. Oh, you have not yet come to that. Okay. But Shankaracharya is keeping it. He is coming to that now. Yo Vedani hitam guhayam parame vyoman so shnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschiteti. Up to that point is that mantra. Then tasmadva etasmad atmana. Tasmat means from that. Etasmat means from this. You are referring to Brahman. You have been describing Brahman. Brahmana vipaschiteti, the one who knows that Brahman within one's own heart. Heart means buddhi. Heart doesn't. Buddhi means intellect. In one's own intellect. So he attains that Brahma and then he enjoys all things along with Brahma. So that is what it said. So how it is going to be told? So before that, Shankaracharya jumps to the next line. Tasmadva etasmad atmana. So you are referring to Brahma and then suddenly you are referring to the Atma, the self, individual self. The mantra says, Tasmat, from that, Va means why, indeed. Tasmad, why becomes Va, Tasmadva. Etasmad, from this, from that, indeed from this, Atma, Akasha Sambhutaha, the whole Atma, the entire Akasha, etc., has come out. So what does it mean? A is equal to B is equal to C. What does it mean? A is equal to C. Tasmadva etas. Of course, this is not even that situation. That is correct. You are referring to that Tasmat is Brahma. Then etasmat, from this Atmanaha. So Brahma is equal to Atma. Brahma is equal to Atma. So that is what it is saying. So that is what we have to see. Tasmadva etasmadatmana iti.
तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन इति.
Brahmanyeva atma shabda prayogat.
ब्रह्मण्येव आत्मशब्दप्रयोगात्.
Vedituratma brahma.
वेदितुरात्मा ब्रह्म.
Etam anandamayamaatmanam upasankramati.
एतमानन्दमयमात्मानम् उपसंक्रामति.
Iti cha atmatam darshayati.
इति च आत्मतां दर्शयति.
Okay. So tasmadva. So in Vedanta you know that the word tat refers to Brahma. Tasmad, from that. So from that, or etasmad atmanah akasha sambhota. Akasha, this what is this space has emerged. So tasmadva, indeed from this etasmad atmana iti brahmanyeva atma shabda prayogat. So this word atma, atma means the self, what we call the self of an individual. In English sometimes people translate it as the soul, but when we say soul, it may give different meaning, say in the sense that in Christianity the word soul is something different. Souls are created, souls they are created by God. So soul is not something which is eternal, as in our case. Soul is something which is created. And then it doesn't die. Soul is something which is created, and then when a person dies, the soul will be somewhere in say what is that place, purgatory. So something like that. They have got their own system. Anyway, our Siddhanta is Chaitanya is something which cannot die. This Chaitanya is something which cannot die. It is not something which is not born also. It is there eternal. Because this consciousness or intelligence, one cannot say that it is born. Because if you say that it is born at some point of time, then there should be Chaitanya to recognize it. There should be Chaitanya to see it. If a child is born, there should be a parent to see it. There should be a parent who is responsible for that. A parent to see it, isn't it? So like that, Chaitanyam, you cannot say it is born, because Chaitanya, in order to see that, somebody should be there. Chaitanya, you can't say it dies, because for seeing that, for the act of dying, one has to see it. So Chaitanya or intelligence is something which consciousness, which is something which never dies. It is always there. You can't say it is born at some point of time. So that is our argument. Anyway, all this came because of the word soul. So we need not use the word soul. We can call it the individual self. So this etasmad atman brahmanyeva atma shabda prayogat. This atma shabda, self, the word self. Self means the consciousness associated with this self. Consciousness associated with the self is something called jiva. Atma shabda prayogat vedituhu atma brahma. Vedituhu means of the person who is vetti. Vetti is vedita. Vetti is with, you can say with, and also vedita. Vedituhu is Shashti Ekavachanam. Vedituhu, of the person who is knowing, of the person who is cognizing. Vedituhu means of the person who is cognizing. Atma iva Brahma, his own self is that Brahma. Vedituhu Atma iva Brahma. How do you say that? Because of all these statements. Because when you say you are referring to Brahma, and then you are referring to this. Suppose your name is some Srinivas. There is also an alias to you, some other second name for you. Some other, suppose you say some other name. So I use that some other name also. So which means Srinivas alias something else. Some alias some Sri Ram or Krishna or somebody like that. So like that. Vedituhu Atmaiva Brahma. And how do you wanna? There is another Shruti also which says Etam Anand, in the same text we are going to see, Etam Anandamayam Atmanam Upasankramati. So this person, he identifies himself with that Anandamaya Atma. That is the self which is full of bliss. He is going to attain. He will attain that self which is full of bliss. We are going to read all that. That is one. Iticha darshayati. Atmatam darshayati. Atmata means equation with Atma. Atmata, that identity with Atma. Identity of Brahma with Atma. Identity of Brahma with Atma. Atmatam darshayati. The text is going to show the identity of Atma with Brahma. Then tat praveshacha. Let us read.
Tat praveshacha.
Tat sruštva tadevanu pravishad iticha.
Tat sruštva tadevanu pravishad iticha.
Tasyaiva jiva rupena sharira pravesham darshayati.
Tasyaiva jiva rupena sharira pravesham darshayati.
Ato vedituhu swarupam brahma.
Ato vedituhu swarupam brahma.
Tat praveshacha. Praveshacha means because it is also said to enter. Tat praveshacha. Because it is also said to enter. Enter what? Tat sruštva tadeva anupravishatu. That Shruti is called, that also is from the same say text which we are going to see. That is, So kamayata bahusyam prajayeti. So the Brahma means we are not referring to the Supreme Brahma, the cosmic being. So kamayata, he desired. And then with that desire, he made himself into many. He manifested as many. And then having created so many things, he entered into them. He himself manifested as many. Having created, he entered into them. So that is what it says. Tat sruštva. This is the same second Valli, Brahmananda Valli, sixth Anuvaka. We are going to see that. Tat sruštva, having created this whole, all the jivas and all that, tadeva anupravishat. He entered them. So this particular Shruti is called Anupravesha Shruti. What we are now reading is Srushti Shruti. Srushti Shruti means Akashad Vayuhu Vayoragnihi, the process of Srushti, the process of creation. And then Anupravesha Shruti is having created, he entered that. That is Anupravesha. Having created, he entered that. So Tadeva Anupravesha iticha tasyaiva jiva rupena sharira pravesham. In what way is that sharira pravesham? There is a body which is created. Into that body, this jiva means intelligence. Jiva, we should not think of anything else. Jiva means intelligence. Antahkarana avachinna chaitanya, antahkarana upahitam chaitanyam jivaha. Antahkarana avachinnam chaitanyam. Antahkarana avachinnam chaitanyam jivaha. So that jiva is that antahkarana avachinnam chaitanyam. So this is Sharira Pravesham. Sharira Pravesham means that intelligence is illumining this Antahkarana also. So in that process, he has entered. He has entered just as a sunlight, just as sun's rays enter the say mirror. So the mirror is something like our Antahkarana is something like a mirror. So this consciousness which is called Brahman, this consciousness is illumining this Antahkarana, just as the sun's light illumines a say mirror. So sun's light falls on a mirror and there is a reflection. So it is like that. Sharira pravesham darshayati. Ato vedituhu swarupam brahma. This the real nature. Swarupam means the real nature. The real nature of knower is Brahma only. The real nature of knower is Brahma. Then there is a small Purvapaksha. This Purvapaksha again refers to the same argument which we discussed earlier, because in brief I told these arguments. That is, when you say that this is he entered and all that, he means that jnanam. Then that jnanam also becomes antavat. Antavat means that which comes to an end. Let us read. Evam tarhi. Where are we? Atmatvat jnanakartrutvam. Atma jnateti cha prasiddham. Jnateti prasiddham. So kamayata iti cha. Kamino jnanakartrutva prasiddhihi. Ato jnanakartrutvat. Jnaptir brahma ityayuktam. Anityatva prasangacha. It is still going on. The Purvapaksha is still going on. Or we will read complete the Purvapaksha. Yadinama jnaptir jnanamiti bhavarupata brahmanaha tathapi anityatvam prasajyeta Paratantriyam cha Dhatvarthanam karakapekṣhatvat Jnanam cha dhatvarthaha Ato asya anityatvam paratantrata cha. So there is a long Purvapaksha. So the basic point is this. Basic point is, when you say this thing is say Atma, Atma is a knower. It is so well known. The self is a knower. You and I, we all know. We all know that we are all, we see, we cognize things, we think we are knower. So that is what he says. Evam tarhi. Evam tarhi means, if that is so. If you say so, that is Atma vedituhu swarupam Brahma. If you say that the real nature of self is Brahma itself, evam tarhi, in that sense, Atmatvat means because it is Atma. Atmatvat means because the Brahman is Atma. Then Jnana Kartrutvam, it becomes a knower. Jnana Kartru means knower. One who knows. Jnana Kartru does not mean he is creating some intelligence or something. Jnana Karta means knower. Jnana Kartrutvam. Atma Jnateti Prasiddham. It is very, very well known. It is accepted that Atma is the knower. Then So Kamayata Itisha. And also there is another Shruti also is there. So Kamayata Saha Akamayata. Akamayata means he desired. Akamayata, past tense. So Kamayata, he desired. Iti Kaminaha Jnana Kartrutva Prasiddhi. Kaminaha means for the one who desires. For the Kami is one who desires. Kaminaha, for the one who desires. Jnana Kartrutva Prasiddhi. So he is the knower. Because he is a knower, he is desiring. It is only when you see something, you are desiring something. So he is knowing something. So Jnana Kartrutvam is there. So when you say Jnana Kartrutvat, you cannot say it is of the nature of pure consciousness which is beyond this say Triputi, which is beyond this Jnata, Gneyam, Jnanam, etc. You can't say that. So that is argument. Is it clear? So Ataha Jnana Kartrutvat, because it is pure consciousness, because it is Jnana Kartru, because it is the knower, you cannot say Jnaptihi Brahma iti Ayuktam. Ayuktam means it doesn't fit in. It is not proper. Ayuktam. It is not according to logic. What? Jnaptihi Jnanam iti. Jnanam, initially how was it defined? Jnaptihi Jnanam. It is pure awareness. It is pure consciousness. Jnana Bhava Sadhano Jnana Shabdaha we read in the last class. Bhava Sadhanaha Jnana Shabdaha. That is the word Jnanam is from the root Jna. Just awareness, Jna. And then without adding any karakam, without adding this he knows and know by what he knows. Karakam is when you say a root, that particular dhatu is connected with so many other things. That connected dhatu, dhatvartha, it is connected with other things. Karakam means kartru karakam. Suppose I say karoti, kaha karoti, who does? Kim karoti, what does he do? Kena karoti, by what he does? Kasya, kasmat, why, for what, from where? All these things come. So that is why dhatu is something which is associated with so many karakas. So this Gyaptir Brahma iti ayuktam. And also anityatva prasangacha, it leads to the situation of impermanence. Anityatva prasanga means the situation of impermanence will arise. That contingency will arise. Anityatva prasanga means that is the contingency of that becoming anityam will arise. Then yadinama gyaptihi jnanamiti bhavarupata brahmanaha, if you say that yadinama means if you say that or conceding that, for example, he says there is a technical word also for that, that is abhyupagamavadam. Abhyupagamavadam means conceding the other man's argument and then say defeating, say rejecting it. So yadinama gyaptihi jnanamiti bhavarupata brahmanaha, if you say that it is bhavarupa, it is just the abstract notion of jnanam, just abstract idea of consciousness and nothing to do with knower, known, etc. If you say that, even then tathapi anityatvam prasadhyeta paratantrem cha. Anityatvam, because you cannot say that. You cannot say that because you are talking about an Atma, you are talking about an individual. In the case of Brahma, what you may say may be true, but when you are referring to Atma, you are again referring to a knower. So it means anityam, paratantriyam cha. Paratantriyam means Swatantra, Paratantra. Swatantra is independent. Paratantra means dependent. Dependent on something else. Dependent on what? Dependent on Karaka. He is going to explain that. Dhatvarthanam Karaka Apekshvatvat. Because this Dhatvartha, the meaning of a dhatu, the meaning of a root, depends on so many Karakams. Kartru Karakam, Karana Karakam, etc. etc. Say this, so many Karakams it needs. Karaka Apeksha. Apeksha, you know? Dependent. Karaka Apekshvatvat means it depends on so many Karakas. This Dhatvarthanam Karaka Apekshvatvat means this dhatu, the meaning of a dhatu depends on so many Karakam. Kartru Karakam, Karanaka. Karakam in English means that say nominative case, objective case, say instrumental case. So all those cases. So there are 7 cases which we say. And then jnanam cha dhatvartha ataha asya anityatvam. And jnanam, when you say jnanam also, it refers to some such thing only, dhatvartha, which is again dependent on karakas, therefore anityatvam, paratantratacha. That means totally dependent on a person, whether a person sees or not, whether a person does something or not. So it is totally dependent on the knower, paratantriyam, dependent on so many karakas. Is it okay?
Yes.
Dependent on so many karakas. So then, janami, okay. Sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. So the basic idea what Vanamalakara is pointing out is this what we call this Brahma or what we call Atma it is something called Sakshi. That Sakshi Chaitanya, of course, we are going to see. Let me not jump into that. So now the Siddhanti says, is Purvapaksham okay?
Yes.
Because Dhatvartha depends on so many karakas. A dhatu, when you say a dhatu, who knows Gnya? Gnya is to know, just know. Who knows by what he knows, then from what. So many karakas will be there. So all those things may make this word, make this concept dependent. Then
Tadapi nityatvam prasajjiyata.
Prasajjiyata means that situation arises. Prasajjiyata, where is it? Earlier line. Bhavarupata Brahmana Tathapi Anityatvam Prasajjiyata. Prasajjiyata means that situation arises, that contingency arises. Anityatvam Prasajjiyata, that impermanence, the state of impermanence is something which arises. Then Siddhanti says, Na Swarupa Vyatirekena Karyatvopacharat Atmanah Swarupam Gyaptihi Na tato Vyatirichyate Ato Nityaiva. Okay, we'll stop here. Na, it is not so. He is going to explain further. Swarupa Avyatirekena Karyatva Upacharat. This Karyatvam means, what is this Karyatvam? So this word, how is Jnanam, Karyam, we have not seen. So when I see something, it is becoming a Karyam or an effect for Jnanam, isn't it? So this Karyatvam is attributable to my mind. So this Karyatvam is attributable to my mind. That is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I see an object. So this object becomes a Karyam for the Jnanam. This object becomes a Karyam for the Jnanam. So in that sense, this Jnanam, this Karyatvam can be attributed to this Jnanam. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So this Karyatvam, when you are referring to Brahma, when you are referring to the real nature, the original nature, then this Karyatva is something which is Upachara. Upachara means figuratively attributed. It is Aupacharika. We use the word Aupacharika Prayogam. Aupacharika is something which is figuratively attributed. It is not really there. This Kartrutvam is not really there for consciousness. This Kartrutvam. Then how is it attributed? He is going to tell in the next line. This Kartrutvam, he is going to explain. This is Swarupa Vyatirekena Karyatva Upacharat is the say Sangraha Vakyam. Sangraha Vakyam means when he is giving an argument, he makes a brief statement first and then elaborates. So in this brief statement he says Karyatva is something which is attributed to Brahma. It is not there. Swarupa Avyatirekena. It is not deviating from its Swarupa. That is not opposing its Swarupa. It is not going contradictory to its Swarupa. While not going contradictory to its Swarupa, this particular Kartrutvam is something which is attributed. Kartrutva means that is knowing, the act of knowing, that is it. The act of knowing is something which is attributed to that. Then Atmanah Swarupam Jnaptihi, the real nature, the real Swarupam, the Atmanah Swarupam, the real say nature of Atma is Jnapti. The real nature of say Atma or the self is Sakshi. So here it is the word Sakshi. This Vanamalakara gives a quotation, Sakshi Cheta Kevalo Nirgunasya iti vachanat Jnanakartrutvam asiddham Janamiti anubhavastu Vritti tadatmya krutaha. Then you are saying Janami. We all say, I know. Then what is this I know? Vritti tadatmya krutaha. That is, I am identifying myself with this vritti. You see, this vritti, when I see a pen, it is this buddhi vritti which is going and occupying this form, which is taking shape of this form. Whereas my real nature is pure consciousness. Where I am forgetting that my real nature is pure consciousness, and then I am identifying myself with this pen. So, have you seen a pen? Yes, I have seen a pen. Have you seen something else? Yes, I have seen. So, I am identifying myself with the buddhi vritti. So, with that modification of the mind. So, buddhi vritti tadatmyat. So, that is the explanation given. So, are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So, you see, Atmanaha Swarupam Nyaptihi. The real nature of Atma is, or the self is, pure consciousness. But, na tataha vyatirichyate. That means it doesn't deviate from that. Na tataha. Tataha means from that. Na tataha vyatirichyate. It doesn't deviate from that. Ataha nityaiva. Therefore, it is nitya. This Chaitanyam is something which is nityam. Then why is this confusion? He is going to explain why all this confusion, that there is anityatvam and things like that. So he is explaining, tathapi buddhehe upadhi lakshanaya chakshuradi dvaraihi vishayakarena parinaminyah Vishayakareena parinaminyah. Parinaminyah is plural. Parinaminyah. That is plural of parinamini. What is that parinamini? Vritti. Okay, Shabdad Yakarava Bhasaha. Ta Atma Vijnanasya Vishayabhutaha. Utpadyamana eva. Atma Vijnanena Vyapta Utpadyante. Okay, so he is now talking about this buddhi vrittis which take the shape of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. There are 5 types of objects we know. This 5 sense objects, 5 senses and 5 sense objects. So this 5 sense objects, they are all appearing in front of our 5 indriyas. So that's what he says. Tathapi, even then means though the real nature of Atma is pure consciousness. Tathapi means though the real nature of self is pure consciousness. That is what we have to see. Buddhehe upadhi lakshanayah. This buddhi is an upadhi. This upadhi is a new word here in this Taittiriya Upanishad. We have come across this word in Gita Bhashya and in several other places. Probably here the buddhi, the upadhi is new. It has come for the first time. So upadhi is something which attributes its qualities on something else. Which say there is an object. That object does not change. Whereas in association with this upadhi, it appears as though it is changing. It doesn't really change. Suppose I take a crystal, and in the presence of by the side of a crystal, I keep one blue flower. So the whole crystal appears blue. So this upadhi, it has given its qualities to it looks as though it has given its qualities to that crystal. Though really crystal has not undergone any change, it appears as though it has undergone some change. It has got the properties of this upadhi, this particular object. Suppose instead of blue flower, I use some red flower, then crystal appears red. So this crystal is something which is not undergoing any change, whereas because of this other object is called upadhi. Upadhi is something which transfers its qualities to something else, but that something else doesn't change, but it looks as though it has got those characteristics. So that is the point. So this upadhi, buddhi is the upadhi. Tathapi, buddhehe upadhi lakshanaya. Buddhi means that human intellect, not only human, right from an ant also has an intellect. So this Chaitanya is something which is falling equally on the Antahkarana, the mind of an ant. It is the same which is falling equally on, say, something else. And for this, a beautiful example came in Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad, this sun's light, which falls on all objects, good, bad, dirty, everything. So like that, and then it doesn't get affected. So like that, this consciousness is something which is illumining the Antahkarana, starting from a bacteria to say a dinosaur. So the tata buddhehe upadhi lakshanaya. So this Antahkarana, the mind or Antahkarana, is the upadhi. That is the thing which is attributing its qualities to that, and it is something which is attributing its qualities. Upadhi lakshanayaha chakshuradi dvaraihi. So this buddhi is acting like an upadhi. Chakshuradi dvaraihi. It is something which is having various doors of perception. These are the indriyas. The doors of perception are the five senses. Chakshuradi dvaraihi. Vishayakarena parinaminyah. So this mind is taking the shape of this Vishaya. Vishayakarena parinamati. It changes. When I see an object, my mind is changing into that object. When I see something else, my mind is taking the shape of that something else. So in that Vishayakara, parinamati, it changes. Parinaminyah. What are they? Ye shabdadyakara avabhasaha. Shabdadi akara avabhasaha. Avabhasa also is a very carefully used word. Avabhasa is a semblance. Avabhasa is something which is a semblance. It is not exactly there, but it is a semblance. Shabdadi akara avabhasa. There is a semblance of a rupa. I am seeing something, there is a semblance, there is a name, form, there is something which is there is some avabhasa in my mind. Avabhasaha, ye shabdadyakara avabhasaha, te. Ta is te. Ta. Your book says te or ta? Te. Te. Okay, they are te. Atma vijnanasya vishayabhutaha. We are treating them as though it is they are the karyam. They are the vishaya for Atma Vijnana. We are denoting them as something which are objects which are cognized by the mind of this individual self. Atma Vijnanasya Vishayabhutaha. They are actually treated as this Vishayas or Karyas for this mind. So that is why this Karyatvam is Upacharitam. This no-worship is something which is Upacharitam. It is figuratively attributed to the Brahman, figuratively attributed to the Atma, whose real nature is Sakshi. It is just there, the presence, its mere presence is there. It is not actually doing all this. So that is it. So all this is something which we are seeing, the process of perception and all that. Vedanta Paribhasha, if we see that chapter on perception, we will understand it slightly better. Vishayabhutaha, they are all utpadyamana eva. Utpadyamanaha means they are looking as though they are appearing. They are all illumined by the consciousness. They are illumined by the same consciousness. Utpadyamana eva. Atma vijnanena vyaptaha utpadyante. Atma vijnanena vyaptaha. Vyapti means pervaded. Pervaded here we have to take it as illumined by. Atma vijnanena vyaptaha. It is because of the sun's light that we are able to see. And in a dark room you get a torch, and then in that torch light, in that light you are able to see. But the light itself is not seeing anything. Light itself is not affected by the good or bad which is there in the room. Light is not affected by whatever is happening in the room. So it is like that. Vyaptaha atma vijnanena vyaptaha utpadyante tasmat atma vijnanavabhasaschate
Atma
vijnana avabhasaschate. Then vijnana shabda vachyascha dhatvartha bhutaha dhatvartha atmana eva dharma vikriya rupaha iti avivekibhihi parikalpyante. So all people who have dim intellect, aviveki means a person who doesn't have the sense of discrimination, who cannot think, who accepts just whatever comes, who is not able to go deep into things. Aviveki, one who does not distinguish. So these people, they think that all these things, they are all the objects of the perception. I am able to see this. My eye is the ultimate pramana. My eyes is say the ultimate. My nose is the ultimate. Whatever I see is ultimate. So whatever I see is truth. Whatever I smell is truth. Whatever I know by the senses is truth. So that is what we think. So you see, Vishayabhutaha utpadyamana eva atmavijnanena vyaptaha utpadyante. They are all just illumined. They are all illumined by the Chaitanya. Therefore, tasmad atmavijnana avabhasaschate. They are all illumined. They are merely semblances of knowledge. They are all semblances of that, say, atmavijnana. This atma, which is untouched, atma, which is mere sakshi, it is illumining all these things. So by that atma vijnana, they are all illumined. And then vijnana shabdavachyascha. All these things are called vijnana. Oh, the vijnana means the jnana of a particular object, the cognition of a particular object. Vijnana shabdavachya. They are all termed as specific cognitions. When I see a pen, the cognition of a pen. When I see a glass, it is the cognition of a glass. So something like that. Vijnana shabdavachya. So this is particular vijnanam. Another object, another vijnanam. It is like that. Vijnana shabdavachyaha. Then dhatvartha bhutaha. Dhatvartha bhutaha means they are also denoted. They are also being denoted as say dhatvartha. They are appearing as the meaning of that dhatu. Dhatu here is jnanam. Dhatvartha bhutaha means they are actually looking as though they are all denoted by the same word jnanam. So this word jnanam is understood at two levels. One is that swarupa jnanam or jnana swarupam. This Brahma is jnana swarupa. Brahma is jnana swarupa means that is pure consciousness. The Brahman is of the nature of consciousness. Then there is what is called vritti jnanam or vishaya jnanam. So there is what is called jnana swarupa is different. Vritti jnanam is something different. So these two are different. But then when you use the word, an unintelligent man, an ordinary man, he uses the words simultaneously, synonymously, and then not even synonymously. He is not aware of the other jnanam, other meaning. He is only aware of this. So whatever he sees, he identifies it as jnanam. He calls it, say, vijnanam. Vijnanam means a particular specific cognition. And then dhatvartha bhutaha. Dhatvartha bhutaha means they can be denoted, they are denotable as dhatvartha. They appear as the dhatvartha. Dhatvartha means the meaning of the word, the meaning of the dhatu, jna dhatoha artha. So dhatvartha bhutaha means they appear as jnanam, in other words. Here we are not referring to any other dhatu. We are not referring to pachati or khadati. We are referring to jna only. We are not referring to any other dhatu. Is it clear?
Yeah.
We are only referring to jna dhatu. So we have to take it as dhatvartha means jnana. So they appear as jnanam. They are denotable by the word jnanam. Then atmana eva dharmaha vikriya rupaha. They are also taken as atma dharmas. They are taken as the properties of the self. Though they are not the properties of the self. They are not the characteristics, property or characteristic. They are not the characteristics of the self. But then by all people, they are taken as the characteristics of the self. So we'll stop here and continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.